It was a normal day in Ponyville. Rainbow Dash heard a knock on the door, and she realized she wasn't expecting any mail or any visitors. But when she opened the door, it was in fact lightning dust. Lightning dust used to be a Wonderbolt reserve about a year ago. She was really surprised because even though she only met once recently saw her when she was about one of the parts of the washouts who had recently came to Ponyville about maybe a few months ago, but why would suddenly lightning dust be at her door? They were not in any good terms at this point. But she even Rainbow Dash wasn't even mad at her at this point. She tried to at least act calmly. She asked, Lightning Dust, what are you doing here? Can I come inside? I need to talk to you. Even though likely that Rainbow Dash first wouldn't even want to have anything to talk to her about. First, she just wanted to close the door, but to be friendly enough, she allowed her to come inside. They both sit down and they start talking. And it turned out the reason why Lightning Dust came to Rainbow's home. She heard that Rainbow Dash was now a full member of the Wonderbolts. And even after the incident of the washouts, especially with Scootaloo to be involved, she came to realize her mistake, putting an innocent filly in a danger of a stunt that even especially in a stunt that Scootaloo hadn't even been practiced before or even done anything. So she came to a realization after all this, a few months later, that she needed to ask Rainbow for forgiveness, and that she put her friend in jeopardy. Even though Rainbow first said, "You know, I'm not the pony that you should apologize." But Lightning said that she had talked to Scootaloo and apologized for what she did, that putting her life in danger like that. And now she wants to ask Rainbow for forgiveness about their supposed rivalry had been pretty much anything between them. She came to realize how much in her actions even before she joined the Watchouts, even when she was one of the reserves, that despite her fast flying skills and anything that was so eager to be a Wonderbolt, she still wanted to be a Wonderbolt. So she asked Rainbow if it was possible if she maybe couldn't convince Spitfire to allow her to show, at least give her a second chance to prove that she could be a Wonderbolt. Or at least one of the Wonderbolt's reserves, at least. This conversation was something that Rainbow not expected. But even when she could, first she said, I'm not so sure even I can be able to convince Spitfire to get you a second chance, said Rainbow a bit stern this time. But, Rainbow, please, I'm asking you for only. I'm not saying that you have to convince her, but all I ask is if you can talk to Spitfire about this. All I just want to ask you if you can talk to her if she would even consider to give me a second chance. If she doesn't even know give one a second we even want to give me a second chance about this, I perfectly understand that. I just want her to ask you if you can talk to her about maybe give me a second chance. And Rainbow was silent for a brief moment. Because she could actually hear in her tone and even see that Lightning Dust was actually genuine. She had actually regret all about her past mistakes. But there was something about this though, because she asked if it was some secret agenda. But then she asked, what about the Washingtons? Why not you be with them? While after that incident in Ponyville, I came to realize my past mistakes. I didn't want to live up to that anymore. I want to live out my dream to be a Wonderbolt. Or at least to be a part of a respected aerobatic group, not as such ponies that were taking stunts or putting other ponies in jeopardy. But I'm. Yes, I realized that my mistake was just such terrible, and especially putting Skululu in such dangerous stunt. And especially someone she can't even fly yet, or at least been trained in such stunt. Do you know that, Rainbow? And if it was you in her position, would you have probably done it? Would you have even accepted a part of the stunt or something like that? And Rainbow actually realized maybe she would have been if she was in Skululu's place. Alright, I promise to talk to Spitfire tomorrow at the Wonderful Academy. Thank you, Rainbow, but I can't make you any promise that she will even take you back to one of the reserves for a second chance. You know that. Unlocking Dust just nodded, understood. But she still thanked and then said goodbye and she left. And before even she mentioned that though, she said that she was going to stay in Ponyville for about a few days at the hotel. So hopefully maybe Rainbow Dash would have at least give her some time to deliver the message from Spitfire. And even after it was Lightning Dust's hand left, Rainbow was still very not skeptical about this potential of that letting her back in Wonder Wonderfalls. But she believes in a second chance, so even if she like Discord, she came to realize and remember that when Celestia had asked her friends if they could perhaps reformed Discord for Sephiroth to be friendly. Even when Rainbow, much of her friends, was against the entire idea except for Fluttershy. So she realized talking to Spitfire might not even work, but she gave her a promise to try at least. So by the next day at the Wonderbolt Academy, she was in fact talking to Spitfire at her office. And Spitfire was first not aware about what this meeting was about because she thought maybe it was talking about some upcoming training sessions or like that. But wait, you really want me to bring back Lightning Dust? What she did? And especially after I heard what happened the washouts incident in Ponyville but a few months ago? I'm not so sure about that, Rainbow. Do you know that? And especially when she put your friends in life in jeopardy? And you want me to bring her back here? No. Rainbow, Spitfire, listen. I know this was probably a very stupid suggestion, but she actually was very genuine. Trust me. But give her give her a chance. I will watch over her constantly, okay? If she does anything that is remotely as stupid or even dangerous, you can take my badge and I will leave the Wonderbolts entirely, forever. After this and that, I will take my responsibility for that. Enlightened us as Rainbow thought maybe this could work, but even what she realized, putting up her own career as the Wonderbolt in line to even get was saying another pony a second chance. Seeing this in Rainbow, Spitfire saw this very noble sacrifice that she was willing to do for a friend of hers, or at least a former friend. But Spitfire said, alright, she has one more chance. But if she ever screw up this time again, or put any other one of the Wonderbolts in a big risk, she will never be able to apply to a Wonderbolt. And you, I know, I will never be part of Wonderbolts ever again either. Good. So now I will let you know, go back to Ponyville to tell her. Alright? Alright? So Rainbow thanked her and went back to Ponyville. She went to this hotel where Lightning Dust was staying. Even though Lightning Dust was a bit eager and even a bit nervous how to respond back when Spitfire was going to go. But when she heard a knock on the door, she was not expecting Rainbow so fast, but she asked if she could come in, and she did. They had a small talk, and Sure enough, within the next 2 days, she went back to Wonderbolt Academy as one of the new reserves, even though when she was standing mounted Ponyville's in the one of those new Wonderbolt's reserves, there were in fact a lot of these ponies were in fact staying away from her. They actually heard about her reputation to be first to be a Wonderbolt reserves, that she had a prom potential, but after what she did, and especially about the washouts incident. So many ponies, even though those new reserves, refused to have anything to do with her, or even want to be in practice with her at most at all. But Rainbow actually managed to convince at least a few of them to at least try promise to give her a chance. And even when she maintained her promise, she kept a very close eye on Lightning Dust. But over the past 2 months after that she was promised back, she had never showed any signs of any reckless or dangerous of putting others in jeopardy. In fact, she had made a lot of promise of potential to be another's great potential. And in fact, even during one of those accidents, not caused by her, but some random accidents about the machinery that the Wonderful's use were showing, or at least showing the potential of other opponents to be reserved. Lightning Dust, in fact, managed to save one pony who was flown away from during a bad storm, and for that she get even a lot more respect among the reserves. But it was even one of the Wonderballs that had recently become another Wonderballs members. A stallion by the name Wind Wind Winds here. Winds here was in fact one of the new ones. And in fact, he actually had a lot of respect for Lightning Dust. Not because of her bad reputation, but that she had gained new respect from other reserves. Not only that she had gained a lot of respect from Spitfire and even Rainbow. All the things that made a lot of her respect for him was in fact that he saw a lot of potential. Despite he was a fast flyer, very skilled in that, he saw a lot of potential. And during one meeting, or at least lunch, what they had together, they talked about some of his times and when he was over one of the reserves, and that even he wished that he would also want to be a Wonderbolt, but even he thought maybe he didn't have the what it took to be a Wonderbolt. But one day when he actually was called to Spitfire's office by Spitfire and Rainbow, where they both declared him to be as a full member of the Wonderbolts. He could not first believe it. He first thought he was dreaming. But when he actually was revealed to be that, he was excited, over thrilled at the most. And he said that to Lightning Dust, if you show the same potential, the same eager and determined, you can be a Wonderbolt. As long as you show the pure potential determination, he said. And he smiled and said, you know, even though you probably wouldn't, even if you wouldn't be able to get up to your Wonderbolt, you're still a very skilled flyer. I have to admit that, and I respect him that. And in fact, after that first meeting, Lightning Dust had in fact started to like him even a bit more and more. But what you didn't know, that Lightning Dust had a secret admirer, because 1 week later after the first meeting, she received a letter in her locker, but it was only signed Your Secret Admirer. She had no idea this secret admirer could have even been, because who knows, it could have been any of the stallions or the mayors of this new Wonderbolt reserves. But when she never expected to be a Wonderbolt having feelings for her, because every single time when she got all these secret notes in her locker, she really was even trying to figure out who it could have been. She even tried to sneak in, and waited to see who put those notes. But for some reason, she could never figure out who it was. But one day, just only after 1 year of being a Wonderbolt reserves, one of the resigned was not even signed your secret admirer, only W.H. W and H. She still figured out exactly who it could have been, but after she realized that it was in fact initials of the pony, and after what she figured out, tried to figure out, but none of the ponies of the Wonderbolt reserves didn't share any of those initials, W.H. But then it came to her like a break in her face. Wins here. The same stallion that she had a lunch with a year earlier, had been he had been her secret admirer all along. But she had never even expected him of all. But when she realized, and she was decided to determine to ask him about this, to confront him. But she decided to ask calmly, try to talk about this topic about it at least. So, at lunch, she talked with Winston here once just about random things when she managed to brought up a topic about that she had a secret admirer. And for about a whole year at this point, she tried to figure out who they could have been. But she thought, and she even said by jokingly, I probably think it might be Rainbow Dash. And Winston here, who was listening to this closely, almost shocked and said, "What? Rainbow Dash? Are you sure?" Well, she was the one who actually helped me back here. So perhaps it's her, or maybe someone else. But to be honest, I'm actually not know. I don't know if I would even want to meet this secret Meyer, or I don't know. I mean, if the secret Meyer would even somehow reveal itself to me, like in a meeting, I don't. I mean, if I would know who the secret Maya was, I would have dared the the pony to meet me tomorrow at this land at the training course at noon. Even hearing this made him to realize he was actually not even being caught yet. But he actually had heard if this Meyer didn't even show up. His scheme, or at least his secret Meyer attention, may not even been followed. So by the next day at noon, Lightning Dust in fact were at the training course waiting for this her secret admirer, because she said that she will meet was expecting to that secret admirer show up loudly so every pony in the cafeteria could hear her. So at least though, if one of them, if there was even if it wasn't Wins here, it could have been someone else among the Wonderballs, even in one of the reserves. But when she did see that Wins here showed up, she said before he can say anything, she said, "I know that it was you." How? Well, you did in fact put your initials in your last secret in my note, and it realized to come to him that without realizing that he put his initials instead for secret admirer, that was the simple mistake that brought him to do so. But he confessed that he was in fact in love with her for the past year. He had so much respect for her. He wanted to show that to her, and he had even admired how much she was showing their willingness to be a Wonderbolt. Despite maybe one, perhaps she may not be able to get to be as one, but she was at least showing that potential. And then he asked her if she wanted to go out with him. But he even said that he would even accept that if she said no. But she didn't. She in fact said yes, and she asked him where they was going to have the first date, and he said What about a picnic tomorrow? Since they didn't have any training tomorrow, so she accepted. It didn't actually take long for the others to realize that they were dating, because shortly after the first date they had on the picnic, when they came back, Lightning Dust went to look up Rainbow Dash. She admits to her and even confessed what happened, and Rainbow Dash was, along the others, was completely unaware that one of the Wonderbolts, for example, like Wins here, had in fact was in love with Lightning Dust. They were not even expecting that. But Rainbow Dash just said that she was really happy to hear that she may have found her special soundboy. But when the rest of the Wonderbolt reserves and the other Wonderbolt members found out, they wasn't equally shocked. But when Soren had asked Wins here about this, if it was even true, which he confirmed it was, and he just said, "Wow, you're really lucky. She is beautiful." "Yeah, I know that," said Wins here with a smile. And for the next couple of months, the relationship between Wins here and Lightning Dust had just remained so much strong. They went on many dates, like movies, picnics, restaurants, or just having some time at the Wonderworld Academy. But even for Lightning Dust, she never expected what's going to happen next, because on her second year as Wonderbolt Reserves, she was summoned to Spitfire's office. She was expected not to much any. She believed that she may have done something wrong, but when she saw Rainbow Wins here at the office, they just said, "Please sit down. We have something serious to talk about." They said with a bit more serious tone. They looked a little bit angry or something like that, she thought. She asked if she was in any trouble or if she had done anything, but suddenly they all smiled and said, "No. And in fact, we are here to tell you something. Am I out of the one about serves again?" She said with a sad tone. But Rainbow shook her head and said, "Not this time. This, in fact, is much better." "Wait, are you serious?" "Well, it depends what you believe," said Rainbow with a smile. Am I a Wonderbolt?" Spitfire Wins here, and Rainbow just looked at each other with a smile and looked back at her and said, "Yes, sweetie, you are now officially a full member of the Wonderbolts." And I was silent. Lightning Dust could not even believe it. First, she believed that this was just a dream or some sort of prank, but she realized they wouldn't even prank anything like this, especially Rainbow Dash or her boyfriend. Her boyfriend would not even joke about anything like this or even prank. But after this realization had settled, she was just smiling, crying. She didn't believe it first, but after she did, she accepted to be a Wonderbolt. Because after they opened the door to to Spitfire's office, the other Wonderbolt was standing outside having a cake. They were celebrating on this. They welcomed the part to be a Wonderbolt. Lighty Dust had actually now, for once for all, fulfilled her childhood dream to be a Wonderbolt. And it all was thanks to Rainbow. If that she had even went back to Rainbow's home those 2 years earlier, she may not had even be here at the Wonderbolt Academy to be a Wonderbolt. But something else had happened, because during the party where they were just talking, having a good time, Wince here actually walked up to Lightning Dust and even proposed to her. The others had no idea about this part. They all had only planned for this celebration to be at her lightning dust to be unwonderful. But this proposal was completely unaware of. When she said yes, the hunters were cheered once even louder, and they decided to have the wedding in Ponyville. They had, of course, invited all the Wonderbolts, including the roosters, and it was a great wedding. Wenshair had declared himself to be the most happiest, luckiest stallion in the world to be with some pony like Lightness. They in fact even moved to Ponyville permanently, and they even went to Las Pesas for a whole week as a honeymoon. That was a gift from the older Wonderbolts to them, and even including though now she was a Wonderbolt. But just barely 2 years later, Lightning Dust and Wind's announced they were expecting a fall, and in fact, they had a daughter. The daughter looked up to both their parents as their idol to be a Wonderbolt, or at least as an idol. And in fact, they even made Rainbow Dash as their daughter's godmother. But just when the daughter was about 4 years old, they expecting a second baby turned out to be a boy. They couldn't be more happier. First of all, having a daughter and now a son, and to even be a Wonderbolt and married with her most beloved husband, wins here of all the things that she ever could have expected. And this was the most happiest time in Lyca's life. If she ever, if she hadn't even gone back to Ponyville to talk to Rainbow, none of this would have happened. She would never have met. She would never have met Winston here, or even to be a fulfilled childhood dream to be a Wonderbolt. All of this would not have happened if she never went back to Ponyville to talk to Rainbow. And even from Wins here, he was really happy that Spitfire actually gave Light Dust a second chance to prove herself that she could be a Wonderbolt. And on the day when she was officially as a member, he could have been more proud and happier for her. And especially the same day when he even proposed to her. He could have been more happier, but now he is the most luckiest and happiest stallion in the whole world. And this is how Lightning Dust and Winston here found a true love, got a big family together. The end.